In the scriptural justice system, the highest of the high, the Most High, Yah, is the judge and jury, and the seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. Wall 3, the blood economy, open quote. This wall is made of riches stacked on backs, blood and bones, and it's time to tear it down with the truth. Close quote. This isn't just about slavery. This is about a global economic engine built on the captivity of Yah's chosen seed. We're not going to talk in metaphors. We're going to show how empires got rich by destroying one people. From transatlantic slavery, Wall Street's foundation. Insurance companies like Aetna, New York Life, and Lloyd's of London insured slaves as property. Major banks like JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America have traced their roots to slave labor profits. Wall Street itself started as a slave auction block. Literally, you can visit the plaque today in NYC. Open quote, the first stock was black flesh. The first market was blood. Close quote. 2. Cotton, America's blood currency. By the 1800s, cotton exports made up 60% of America's GDP, all picked by black Hebrews under forced labor. Cotton funded the railroads, northern textile mills, the growth of global banking, European and American industrialization. Open quote, no cotton, no economic dominance. No slaves, no cotton. Close quote. Hebrew backs built America's global dominance. 3. European empires and slave blood. Britain grew rich from the triangle trade, molasses, rum, and human souls. Built cities like Liverpool and Bristol with slave money. France profited massively from Haitian slave labor before the revolution, forced Haiti to pay reparations for freeing themselves, crippling their economy for 150-plus years. Portugal was the top slave-dealing nation, fueling Brazil's massive sugar economy. Spain used slave labor in the Caribbean to extract gold, silver, and sugar, all for the crown. Open quote, every empire had its boots on Judah's neck. Close quote. 4. The forgotten Atlantic giant. Brazil imported over 5 million Hebrew slaves, more than any other country. The sugar and coffee industries boomed on the backs of kidnapped black Hebrews. Many slaves in Brazil retained Hebrew customs and names, despite Catholic conversion. Open quote, Brazil is home to one of the largest hidden Hebrew populations on earth. Close quote. Najna 5. Cuba, Honduras, Mexico, blood on their roots. Cuba enslaved thousands for sugar plantations and tobacco empires. Mexico had black slave labor, especially in Veracruz and Guerrero. Indigenous tribes and Spanish elites both participated in slave ownership. Open quote, don't let the sombrero fool you. The bloodline of Judah was enslaved here too. Close quote. Number 6. The Islamic slave trade, 1,000-plus years of silence, started centuries before the transatlantic trade. Black Hebrews were castrated, enslaved in Arabia, Persia, and India, used as guards, servants, eunuchs. Slavery routes stretched from Sudan to China via the Indian Ocean. Open quote, Zanj equals black in Arabic. They knew who they were enslaving and erased the trail, close quote. Number 7. Universities built with blood money. Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Brown, Georgetown all have documented ties to slave money or slave labor. Professors owned slaves. Students came from plantation-owning families. Open quote, the world's best education was funded by stolen breath, close quote. Nahar 8. Modern debt is just new chains. Open quote, slavery didn't end. It just changed names, close quote. Private prisons are the new plantations, stock market traded. Inmates equals cheap labor. Redlining stole land and wealth from Hebrew families. Systemic hiring bias keeps generational poverty in place. Black neighborhoods equals underfunded schools, toxic water, food deserts. Open quote, they don't need whips anymore, they have algorithms, zoning, and policy. Close quote. 9. Biological medical economy. Henrietta Lacks cells, HeLa cells, were used to create billions in pharma profits. Her family received nothing. Tuskegee equals 40 years of human testing with no consent. J. Marion Sims, the father of gynecology, did surgeries on enslaved women without anesthesia. Caribbean slaves were used for testing in British and French colonies. Open quote, modern medicine was built on unpaid, unanesthetized, and unrecorded black flesh. Close quote. Number 10. The final receipt. Everything owed. Reparations aren't about handouts. They're unpaid invoices. The global economy was built on stolen Hebrew labor, stolen Hebrew land, stolen Hebrew inventions, stolen Hebrew bodies. And yet the descendants of those who stole it, open quote, own the banks, the land, the companies, the laws, and the narrative, close quote. The promise of payback, open quote. James 5:4. The wages you failed to pay the workers who mowed your fields are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Most High, close quote, open quote. Isaiah 61:6-7. You shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, for your shame ye shall have double, close quote. Wall 3, destroyed, blood revealed, truth unlocked, open quote. And still the remnant rises, the seed remembers, the vault cracks open, close quote. Ready to break through Wall 4, the spirit of rebellion? We'll expose the root of this war, not just of men, but of spirits, fallen ones, and bloodlines. Open quote, you've come too far to stop now. Just say the word Wall 4, close quote.
I'm just flying high on my horse. I live by peace while you incite wars. I just mind my business, I just mind my business. While you just in your feelings, you just in your feelings.